Hello, today we will discuss the kingdom Monera. Monera is fifth kingdom. First Monera, second Protista, third Panjai, fourth plant and fifth animal. Today we will discuss about Monera. First of all, bacteria are a sole member. It means Monera contain only one type of members and that are bacteria. So each and every type of bacteria are included in kingdom of Monera. They are most abundant microorganism. Bacteria occurs almost everywhere. It means bacteria are present a very diverse place. They may be present on earth, maybe on hills, maybe on very high temperature, low temperature, each and everywhere. Hundreds of bacteria are present in a handful of soils. It means अगर आप थोड़ा सी भी मिट्टी उठा ले तो उसमें भी हंड्रेड्स टाइप ऑफ बैक्टीरिया मिलेगी. They also live in extreme habitats such as hot spring, deserts, snow, deep ocean, where a very few other life forms can survive. It means they are having capacity to grow in area where it is not possible to another other organism to grow. For example, they can live in very high temperature, it is hot spring, a very desert, a snow, very low temperature, or a deep ocean having very high pressure. So they are having capacity to survive in very extreme condition. Many of them live in or on other organisms. It means they are having ability to grow in or on other organism, and the method of growing this type of organism is called parasitism, and the bacteria are called parasite. So this was all about bacteria, type of bacteria, and their diverse habitats. Now we will study about morphology. Bacteria are grouped under four categories based on their shape. The spherical coccus, the rod-shaped bacillus, the comma-shaped Vibrio, and the spiral Spirillum. These are main four categories of bacteria. We will discuss with figure. So first of all, it is cocci. Cocci means having oval shape of organism. They are also called as coccus. Second is bacillus. Bacillus is having a small rod type shape. A single they are called bacilli. The comma shape, vibrio, and a spirillin shape spirilla. So these are four different types of bacteria. First one is cocci, second is bacillus, third one is spirilla, and fourth one is vibrio. Though bacteria structure is very simple, they are very complex in behavior. Compared to many other organisms, bacteria as a group show a most extensive metabolic diversity. What it means? It means that though bacteria are having very small in shape or they are mostly unicellular, but they contain a very different type of metabolic activity. One bacteria completely or partially differ from other type of bacteria with respect to metabolic activity. For example, we can take one bacteria as autotrophic, means it is having capability to make its own food, but in case another bacteria is heterotrophic, it means it is not having capacity to make its own food, it will depend for another source of energy. Some bacteria are parasite, some bacteria are possible for human disease, some are helpful. So these are very diverse type of bacteria. So we will repeat the sentence. Though the bacteria structure is very simple, they are very complex in behavior. Compared to many other organisms, bacteria as a group show a most extensive metabolic diversity as we have discussed. Some of the bacteria are autotrophic. For example, they synthesize their own food from inorganic substrates. They may be photosynthetic autotrophic or chemosynthetic autotrophic. Means if they are photosynthetic, they are using sunlight to make its own food. So thereby they call photosynthetic autotrophic. But if organism using any chemicals or any chemical substance to make its own food by itself, then it is called autotrophic, but it is called chemosynthetic autotrophic. So this is the difference between photosynthetic autotrophic and chemosynthetic autotrophic. The vast majority of bacteria are heterotrophs. Now we will discuss what is the heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are the organisms which are not making their own food. They depend for manufacturing of their foods on another things, or they can take a ready-made foods from other. So this type of organism is called heterotroph. They depend on other organism or a dead organic matter of food. As we have discussed, these are type of bacteria is called parasitic, or they are also known as a saprophytic organism. So this was all about diversity of metabolism of organism and their way of getting food. So now we will discuss about archaebacteria. Archaebacteria is a type of bacteria which are capable to grow in very strange or very difficult atmosphere. For example, these are apical since they live in some of most harsh habitats such as extreme salty area. This type of bacteria called halophils. Halophils are the organisms which are capable to grow in a very salty area. Second example is thermoacidophils. Thermoacidophils is the bacteria which is capable to grow in very high temperature. So they are also called as a thermophiles or thermoacidophils. Third example is methanogens, which are capable to grow in anaerobic condition or marshy area. So this was all about type of bacteria. Which properties archaebacteria are having which make them capable to grow in very harsh condition? And the answer is cell wall. Archaebacteria differ from other bacteria in having a different cell wall structure, and this feature is responsible for their survival in extreme condition. Methanogens are present in gut of several animals such as cow and buffaloes, and they are responsible for production of methane from dung of these animals. As we have discussed in our session of microbes in biogas production, we have discussed that this type of bacteria are naturally present in rumen of cows and buffaloes. This type of bacteria is called methanogens, as they are involved in production of biogas, which is also called as methane. So they are called methanogens, and they are naturally present in ruminants of cow and buffaloes. Second type of bacteria is eubacteria. Eubacteria stand for true bacteria. Eu means true. There are thousands of different eubacteria, means true bacteria. They are characterized by a presence of rigid cell wall. The main characteristic of eubacteria, or you can speak true bacteria, is presence of rigid cell wall. If bacteria is motile, then presence of flagellum. These are main two characteristics of eubacteria. First one is presence of rigid cell wall, and second one is flagella. The cyanobacteria, also referred as a blue-green algae having a chlorophyll A, which is present in green plants and are called photosynthetic autotrophs. We will discuss in more detail. First of all, autotrophs means the organism is capable to produce its own food, but they are making their food by photosynthesis. They are called photosynthetic autotrophs. And bacteria contains a chlorophyll A, which are generally present in a plant. So it is called blue-green algae or a cyanobacteria. A figure is also present over here. The cyanobacteria are unicellular, colonial or filamentous. Unicellular means it is also having only one cell. Colonial means aggregation of one or more cell and making a colony. Filamentous means having very in linear structure. So they may be unicellular, colonial or filamentous. They are found in fresh water, marine water as well as terrestrial algae. You can find them a river or any ocean or in a terrestrial habitat. The colony are generally surrounded by a gelatinous sheath. They often form blooms, as we have seen in polluted water bodies. Bloom means aggregations of so many organisms. They are producing green color blooms over a water body. It is called blooms in polluted water body. Some of these organisms can fix atmospheric nitrogen in specialized cell called heterocyst. It is heterocyst. The example of this type of cyanobacteria are nostoc and Amina, as we have discussed in our session of microbes microbes as a biofertilizer. So this type of organism can be used as a biofertilizer, and the main role of this type of bacteria is to fix atmospheric nitrogen. Autotrophs means a bacteria which make their own food. It is autotrophic, but they are using any chemical substance for making food, then they are called chemosynthetic autotrophs. Means they are using chemical to make its food by own self. So this type of bacteria oxidize a various organic substance. They are using chemical. They are oxidize various organic substances such as nitrates and ammonia, and use the release energy for their ATP production. So this type of bacteria use nitrate, ammonia, and use the gained energy in production of ATP. They play a great role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and sulfur. So these organisms are playing a basic and main role in nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, iron cycle and sulfur cycle. Heterotrophic bacteria, the bacteria they are not making or they are not capable to make their own food, is called heterotrophic bacteria. These are bacteria which are totally different from autotrophic bacteria. Autotrophic bacteria are making their own food, but in case of heterotrophic, they are not having capable to make its own food. So, heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant in nature. They are widely found in nature. The majority are important decomposer. Yes, this is the golden sentence. The majority are the important decomposer. For example, they are deleting any plants, they are deleting any dead animals, they are deleting any waste thing over the earth. So they are a majority are most important decomposer. They will decompose the organic matter of dead animals and it will mix into earth. Many of them are significant impact of human affairs. They are helpful in making curd from milk, production of antibiotic, fixing nitrogen in leguminous plant. As we have discussed in our session of roles of microbes in industrial product, we have discussed how microorganism is useful in production of curd from milk, how they are useful in production of antibiotic, for example penicillin, how they are useful in fixing of nitrogen in leguminous plant in case of biofertilizer. Some are pathogens causing damage to human being, crops, farm animals and pets. As the bacteria is beneficial, they are also harmful to human being. And in case of harmful, they are responsible to cause a damage to human being. They are responsible to produce disease in human beings, some crops, some farm animal and plants. The disease caused by this type of bacteria is known as cholera. Vibrio cholerae is the organism which is responsible to spread cholera. Typhoid it is spreaded by Salmonella typhi, or tetanus, citrus cancer, as well as known disease caused by different bacteria. Now some discussion about reproduction. Bacteria reproduce mainly by fission. Fission means making two cells from one cell. It is simply we can call it a dividation. A single cell of bacteria will make two cells and it will divide its whole cytoplasm and genetic material in two different cells. So it is called a fission. By fission, bacteria will make two similar copy of itself. As shown in figure, bacteria reproduce mainly by fission, sometimes under unfavorable condition. Point to be noted about unfavorable condition. It means if condition is not well defined for bacteria or it is not favorable to bacteria, the bacterial vegetative, it means a cytoplasm will shrink and produce a dormant phase. That particular dormant phase is called spore. So this is the second type of reproduction. Sometimes under unfavorable condition they produce spore, and when the favorable condition is available, the spore will germinate and it will be converted in a vegetative form, like this type of vegetative form. They also produce by a sort of sexual reproduction by adopting a primitive type of DNA transfer from one bacteria to another bacteria. This is also a part of reproduction. Now some discussion about mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is something different than a normal bacteria. What is the difference? They completely lack a cell wall. A cell wall is not present in a bacteria called a mycoplasma. So the mycoplasma are organisms that completely lack a cell wall. They are smallest living cells known and can survive without oxygen. Many mycoplasma are pathogenic in animals and plant. So mycoplasma is the smallest living and also can survive without oxygen. Many mycoplasma are pathogenic in plants and animals. So this was all about discussion of a kingdom Monera, Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, different type of bacteria, how bacteria is autotrophs, how heterotrophs, how they are useful, how they are beneficial, how they are not beneficial, what is the mycoplasma, all we have discussed in this session. Our next session will be on a kingdom of Protista. We will discuss more about kingdom Protista in our next session. Till now, still that, be in contact, be connected, be safe. Goodbye, bye bye.